Welcome to the Burnout Recovery Podcast, a guiding resource dedicated to healthcare professionals on their journey to overcoming burnout. Spearheaded by Dr Jo Braid, a certified professional coach and rehabilitation physician.
Hello everyone and welcome to this very special episode. We are rounding out the end of financial year here in Australia, and I thought this was the perfect time for a mid-year check-in. Not just any check-in, but one where I get vulnerable with you about my own journey these past 6 months, and then I invite you to do the same reflection for yourself. You know, there's something powerful about these natural pause points in our calendar. They give us permission to stop, breathe, and really look at where we've been and where we're heading. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive in together. So let me start by saying, wow, these 6 months have absolutely flown by. When I look back at January and my intentions for this year, I'm honestly amazed at what has unfolded. Let me share some of the tangible things first. My goal for 2025 was to do 12 speaking engagements for the entire year. Well, I've already done more than 18, so that's 150% of my annual goal, and we're only halfway through. Each speaking opportunity has been such a gift, connecting with healthcare professionals rurally and in metro centres as well, who are navigating their own burnout recovery journeys. I've also had so many more weekends in Sydney with my son who's at boarding school there, and this has been really precious time that I didn't want to miss, and I'm so grateful to be able to prioritise this relationship. Another big milestone, I opened a rehabilitation clinic in Sydney, and this really has felt like a natural expansion of my work with a monthly commitment in clinic, which follows after catching up with my son and friends in Sydney. Here, I've maintained my commitment to you, my podcast community, releasing weekly episodes consistently. Thank you for your incredible support. Your messages and feedback fuel my passion for this work. And I have some exciting plans brewing for the future of this podcast, so definitely stay tuned for that. On the personal wellness front, I've continued training with my personal trainer weekly. Now, I'll be honest, there were weeks I missed, but instead of beating myself up about it and letting it slide, I made up for it by doing up to 3 workouts in a week, and that was a real few. My goodness, that was intense, but it kept me connected to my movement pillar. I've also been navigating some deep work in my mindset coaching sessions with my master coach, particularly around managing my workload and staying aligned with my values, and this work is really invaluable. And perhaps one of the most nourishing experiences, I took a week to visit my mum, family and friends in the UK, and that connection to my roots and the people who've shaped me was exactly what my soul needed. Now, as I'm sharing all of this with you, I can almost hear some of you thinking, Jo, this sounds like a lot of doing for someone whose word of the year is simplicity. And you'd be absolutely right to notice that. Here's the thing though, and this is where the magic of simplicity really shows up. All of this has flowed because I've been living by the 4 pillars I talk about here regularly: mindset, movement, sleep, and support. When I'm being the woman who has these foundations established in my well-being, what I do follows on easily. And simplicity isn't about doing less. It's about doing what matters from a place of alignment. It's about having such clarity on your values and priorities that decisions become easier, energy flows more freely, and you stop second-guessing yourself constantly. The mindset work with my coach, that's me investing in my mental foundation. The consistent movement, that's honoring my body's needs. Prioritizing time with my sons and family, that's my support system. And all of it comes back to those core pillars that keep me grounded. So now I want to turn this over to you. This mid-year point is such a beautiful opportunity for your own check-in. Not a harsh performance review, but a compassionate look at where you've been and where you want to go. I'm going to share some reflection questions with you, and I invite you to pause this episode if you need, grab a journal, or just sit quietly with these thoughts. First question: what has surprised you most about the first half of 2025? Maybe you've accomplished something you didn't think was possible. Maybe you've struggled in an area you thought would be easy. Maybe you've discovered something new about yourself. There's no right or wrong answer here, just curiosity about your own journey. Second, which of your goals have shifted since January, and do you like your reasons why? Here's what I want you to know. It's completely okay for your goals to evolve. Life is dynamic, we are dynamic, and sometimes what we thought we wanted in January isn't what serves us in June. The key question is, do you like your reasons for the shift? Are you changing course from a place of wisdom and growth, or from fear and avoidance? Only you can answer that. And third, how are your foundational pillars serving you right now? Think about your mindset. How are you talking to yourself these days? Your movement. How is your body feeling? Your sleep. Are you getting the rest you need? And your support. Who are the people who are around you and help you fill your cup? So remember, as I shared in a recent episode, your most important relationship starts within. How you're treating yourself in these foundational areas ripples out into everything else you do. And finally, what does the person you want to be in the next 6 months prioritize? Not what you think you should prioritize, not what others expect you to prioritize, but what the highest version of yourself, the one who's aligned with your values and living intentionally, what does that person put first? I want to give you permission here to pivot if you need to. Maybe your word of the year needs to shift. Maybe some goals need to be released to make room for what's emerging. Maybe you need to simplify even further, or maybe you're ready to expand in a new direction. The beautiful thing about mid-year is that you have 6 months of data about yourself. You know what's working and what isn't. You know what lights you up and what drains you. Trust that wisdom. And as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this. You have everything you need within you to create the next 6 months exactly as you want them to be. Your foundations, your mindset, your movement, your sleep, your support. These aren't just nice to haves. They're the bedrock from which everything else flows. When these are solid, your actions become less effortful, maybe effortless. Your decisions become clearer and your energy becomes sustainable. You're absolutely worthy of the life you're creating, one intentional choice at a time. You're worthy of rest, of joy, of success, of simplicity, whatever it is that your soul is calling for right now. Thank you for being part of this community, for your incredible support of this podcast, and for doing the brave work of burnout recovery and intentional living. I have some exciting developments coming up for the podcast in the second half of this year, so definitely stay tuned. Until next time, this is Dr. Jo Braid reminding you that your most important relationship starts within, and you have the power to make the next 6 months exactly what you need them to be. Thanks for listening. Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode. Schedule a 60-minute power hour with me and leave with relief, decisions made, and clear next steps. Or send me an email for a speaking inquiry. All information is available at drjobraid.com with links in the show notes.